Well, good morning. I'm Pastor Steve of the Warrior Christian Fellowship. It's Wednesday morning, July 12th, and glad you could start the day with me with some time of devotion. Sometimes I wonder what God's thinking. I really do. But in Isaiah 55, verse 8, God says, "My thoughts are not your thoughts, and my ways are not your ways." You know, we tend to interpret our life by how it looks at the moment of what we're in. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, sometimes it's difficult. We might think, obviously, God's not watching or God doesn't care, or God's not thinking of us at all. But we must remember that in the midst of that process, God has a plan and a purpose for our lives. Remember the promise in Jeremiah 29:11. He says, "I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They're plans for good and not for destruction, to give you a future and a hope." God has a good plan for your life. It's interesting because the backdrop of that statement, the people of Israel were in captivity in Babylon. And for them, their world had ended. They thought they had no future. They believed that God had forgotten about them, but he hadn't. God was disciplining his people for their disobedience, so he allowed them to be taken into captivity. But the principal message that he gave his people was that he still loved them, and he still had a plan and a purpose for their lives. He wasn't disciplined because he hated them. He was disciplining them because he loved them. The Bible says, "For the Lord corrects those he loves, just as a father corrects a child in whom he delights." That's in Proverbs 3 somewhere. Although God's plans for us are good, they may not seem good for us at the time. Maybe you're wondering whether God has forgotten about you. You might be facing some difficulties, or perhaps God is disciplining you for something to improve the way you live. But remember this: because the Lord loves you, because you are his child, he will do what is necessary in your life to make you the person he wants you to be. His plans and his thought for you are good because he loves you. I hope this helps you. I hope you have a great day. May God bless you. And I hope I see you tomorrow. Be well, friends.